Hello, welcome back. So, Nigel Farage is having your pants down again because he's come out and stated that he may have to leave the UK because he can't hold a bank account. Alright, I think you're full of shit, Big Nige myself. What you're saying is that you did the UKIP, you ran UKIP, you got us to have a stay or leave referendum from the EU, and you pushed it and you pushed it and you pushed it for 20 years till it got to the point where you could be ignored. So you got what we all wanted, and the very next day you basically did the same thing as David Cameron did. He rage quit because he didn't get his own way. You got your own way and still managed to quit. Why? Is it the fact that you thought you'd never win it and you could carry on bleating on about it for the next 20 years till it was time to retire? But no, you had it on your toes when the hard work was about to start. You didn't want to see it through. You had no intention of ever seeing it through. Because like, my work here is done. I've got us out the EU. No, that was the beginning process for us to leave the EU. You just fucked off and had it on your toes, and left everyone else to sweep up the fucking mess behind you. And that's why it's taken as long as it's taken to sort out, because you had it on your toes rather than sitting there and fucking pointing out the obvious, which you're in a position to do. When you make the Prime Minister of the UK do something they don't want to do, and because they don't get their own way, they rage quit the next day. But anyway, we'll wash over that you fucked off and had it on your toes. You pulled the wool over everyone's eyes for 20 years. But it was all going to shit because you'd had it on your toes and you couldn't walk away as happily as you'd like to. So you set up the Brexit Party. Did the same again. You got that to a certain point and then fucked off and had you on its toes because GB News come calling and offered you money. It wasn't GB News, it was LBC. Offered you a nice big paycheck. So you fucking had it on your toes with them. Then GB News come calling, offered you another big paycheck. And you settled into that job. And you got that to a point where it goes to an awards show. It wins 3 awards. And since you've won that award, you've done nothing but shove it in everyone's faces. Every time you've been on the camera, it's been there with you. And now all of a sudden you've got to leave the UK because you can't hold a bank account. I call bullshit myself. I think you've done your bit, you've had enough, and now you're going to retire in the sun whilst you've still got a good few years left in you. It's got nothing to do with you can't hold a bank account, because all the shitheads in the country that hold bank accounts. Everyone that's been in prison, they still come out the old bank accounts. Doesn't matter. High public figures that people don't like still hold bank accounts. Boris Johnson, Theresa May, all these people that have actually ran the fucking country in the cabinet, they're not. And everyone's there screaming, fuck the Tories and fuck this and fuck that. It's all the Tories' fault. You don't see these big banks kicking their bank accounts out, do you? No, you're full of shit. It's all to fit in with the agenda. It's fuck all do with that. You're retiree, you're having it on your toes whilst you've got a few good years left in you. Go sit on a beach in fucking Spain or something. I don't know. Well, it's not what you're saying. You're shoving it, you're talking shit. Because this is the third time you've pulled this trick. You've got something to a certain point and you fuck off. You have it on your toes and fucking leg it. Now, I've never brought into you. I was the first. I brought into your bullshit when you were with UKIP. Fucking phone calls all the fucking time. Fuck off, you cunt. Twat. But yeah, You fooled me once, shame on me. Or shame on you, whichever way round it is. But you didn't fool me second time, and you haven't fooled me this time either. I can see through your bullshit. And slowly, the British population are actually waking up to the bullshit they're being fed and the propaganda they're being fed. Sooner or later, they'll see through you and you'll be fucking gone, and no one will give a flying fuck about you. I've made my point, had my rant. I'll catch you another day, another way. Bonjour.